Okay. Okay. Hey, everybody, we're here. We're live. I thought I'd join you for the final half hour trading today. Noticing the Dow down 867 points and, you know, just giving you some helpful pointers and tips on what you might want to look out for here. This market took a real dive here a little while ago. I think that on the triple Qs, we were sitting at about at 522.80 back around just before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the dive took place and the market went down $11 to 511.24. And that was a real reaction negative, a slight recovery, a couple of bucks, and then down again. And now we're falling again on the triple Qs. Actually, I should correct myself. We were down to about 514, recovered a little bit, and now we're down to 511, 512. So actually, it's another leg lower here. What's going on? The Dow off 846, down almost 2%. The S&P down 1.75%. The Nasdaq down 1.6%. The VIX has surged up 2.34 up to 2043. Massive move higher. That's negative. Gold is surging at $39 an ounce, and oil is dropping off the table. It was up $1 something earlier today. Now it's down 60 cents and falling. Simple. The U.S. government today tried to sell bonds, and the bond demand was weak. Simple. There's not a lot to this. Investors, pension funds, hedge funds, mutual funds, banks, insurance companies, foreign sovereign funds, the world were invited today to put in a bid to buy some bonds. America is the number one seller of bonds in the world. America writes bonds all the time. America is in deficit, has to roll over old bonds that are maturing now to issue a new set of bonds to replace old maturing bonds, because you only pay the interest. You don't pay the principal, you see. You just pay the interest. And then you issue additional bonds to the bonds that you're replacing to bring in additional cash to keep the game going, the deficit game. And as we are speaking here and we're watching the markets, what's going on in Washington? Oh my, they're trying to pass the glorious, sweet, beautiful tax bill, which I've mentioned a couple of times to you guys, is laced and filled with a minimum $5 trillion of deficit add-ons. It's a $5 trillion add to the deficit. And it's over several years, which means that the U.S. government will continue to borrow additional money on top of the bonds that they're rolling over to afford $5 trillion more dollars of debt. And the problem with that is that every dollar you borrow, you are now paying more interest on that money. As long as the bond is out there, you owe interest on that money. And if you're adding $5 trillion to the debt load, you're going to pay interest on $5 trillion on top of the $35 trillion you got. So now it's a $40 trillion tax interest carrying cost. And interest rates don't stay steady. They fluctuate all the time. And every time new bonds get issued, interest rates go higher. And the 30-year note is now at 5.05% instead of 4.9, which it was a few days ago. That's adding to the bill. And the 10-year now is approaching 4.6. And this is the problem, folks. Houston, we have a problem. And the world at large is looking at a 10-year Treasury note at 4.6% on its way to 5% for a 10-year. And you compare it to Germany at 2.65, and you're going, holy crap, it's almost going to be double the German rate. The Italians only pay 3.6%. The Spanish only pay 3.25%. In the United Kingdom, where they're having a really tough time because of Brexit and other policies, they're at 4.7%. America's approaching the UK. Japan, 1.5% interest rate. That's all they pay for their 10-year. So, oops, we have a little issue here called a lack of demand for U.S. Debt. And that puts everything into perspective when it comes to earnings power Americans watching their U.S. dollar collapse against foreign currencies. The euro is over 113. The yen is down to 143. The pound is 134. The American dollar is losing against all kinds of currencies, and this is causing a lower standard of living for Americans, a higher interest rate cost for all Americans, governments, all governments, that not include just the federal government, state governments, local governments, you, just you, all businesses, higher interest rates, higher expenses, lower profits. Corporations don't like paying interest payments, they like making money. And if they have to borrow money at a higher rate, that means stock buyback programs cost more money. And the government's already charging a tax on corporate America to buy back its own stock. And there's talk that might be raised. And so the markets are under pressure. And this is bad for the stock markets, which means you guys write covered calls. You guys write poor man covered calls. You guys write cash secured puts to under the stock price on lower and lower puts to bring in better deals to buy back stock. And you write credit spreads, call credit spreads. And you guys who watch me get richer, because option writers make money when markets go down. They make money when markets go up and when they go sideways, and we're down 796 points right now, which means you are making some dough here on some calls that you've written lately, I suppose. I do see that the Qs are down to 513. We were talking this morning at 519 to 520 to 521. They got up to 523. Now we're down almost $10 on each Q stock. Interesting. The options there, call credit spreads have died. All of you who wrote credit spreads this morning, call credit spreads today for tonight expiry, for tomorrow's expiry, for Friday's. They have all fallen off the table. You should be now shutting down your call credit spread trades. Take your money off the table, fold your arms, and say, the store is closed. We'll be open again tomorrow. There's no need to do any more trading today. Welcome to the party, pal. We're down 44 cents on SoFi. Yeah, it's getting caught in the vortex, but SoFi is not the engine making this happen. They're just going along with the dip. It's nothing personal. This is your opportunity to write even more expensive $12, $13, and $15 and $17 cash secured puts on your SoFi. This is your chance. GameStop, 28.23, got to 29. How many times today? 3-4 times it got to $29. Could not hold it. There is no confirmation from anyone about any investment in crypto, in Bitcoin. The rumor on the street is GameStop has $80,000 Bitcoin. We did touch 110,000 today. Stock is sitting at 28.23, down 28 cents. Rocket Lab down 61, ASTS down 124. Even Strategy Incorporated, MicroStrategy down $15 at 401.84. It couldn't hold a gain, and it's loaded into Bitcoin. I mean, it's just drowning in Bitcoin, not going higher. AI down 118. Super Micro down 110, Nvidia down 265, Tesla down 870, Palantir down 448. Someone was asking me this morning, what should I do with my deep in the money Palantir call option? And I gave two possible scenarios. You could either roll them over to higher strikes, go further out in time, or do nothing. And let's see if the stock gives up some ground, because these contracts were for October or November, something like that. They have plenty of time left in them. Stock's down 440 now on the session. Looks like those calls are still in the money, but not as much. They're coming back to you. This isn't going to be a one-day sell-off because of that bond auction. If you think the market today will get over it and tomorrow we'll have a stinking rally the other direction, think again, Chester. I hate to give you the Will Smith dope slap, but wake up. The world at large is telling the market what it thinks of the U.S. fiscal house. That is not in order. Not looking good is what we have here. Yes, so we have pressure on stocks out there, folks. A whole bunch of red going on right now, all over the place. Only a couple of green shoots, and they aren't making any difference to this market. The Dow 30 was virtually half an hour ago. Everyone was in the red. Even Coca-Cola was down a couple of pennies. And so there you are. Welcome all to the program. Nice to see you for the afternoon show. Little afternoon. Hi, how are you? Richard Carlin's here. Charlie, Legacy. Charlie, I wrote the 514, 510 puts this morning. We're at 513.93. Also wrote 525.27 calls. I think I'm screwed on the puts. You should be getting the hell out of Dodge or rolling them forward to tomorrow or Friday or next week for lower strikes and buy back your calls and say thank you. Crazy 49er number 2. Shovel, the Fed will buy it up. It happened before. You're hopeful. Mr. Prima, the option. Happy Wednesday, another pocket filling day. Brian, I'm here. 12 thumbs ups. Charlie, hoping for a little rally. Splair, Uncle Bruce is online. What negativity in the USA have I missed? Beach Boy, just another boring day in the markets. Move along, nothing to see here. Jeff Glass, hope everyone is able to bail out on their zero put credit spreads today. Savage Wall Street, yeah, baby. Uncle Bruce for hour of power. Guess who sold 8 AI covered calls expiring Jan 26? This guy. I'm kind of angry because I wanted to sell 10 and I only got 8 done at $4.50 each. Time for arm crossing and watching the shrinkage. Doughboy, it's like seeing Uncle Bruce during this market turning. I like it when he's on. Savage, remember when this morning I said that I hate zero-date expiry options? Well, I don't want to say I told you so. Well, if you wrote calls, you're laughing. And that's what I've been begging you to do, write call options. Gustav, what's going on? David, anti-American. That's what it is. Beach Boy, hold your horse's credit. You ain't the only one writing calls on that bump, baby. Savage, the pump just didn't make sense. I noticed volume for everything was low, yet things were pumping. So I started deploying stinkers for covered calls, and I'm feeling kind of smart right now, laughing out loud. Jeff, regretting that I got bored folding arms with my covered calls and wrote 13 cash secured puts on SoFi yesterday. Beach Boy, bump, some, same. I don't know what's going on. Now, Savage Wall Street, I'm laughing my butt off. No, Beach Boy, a bump and a pump are not the same. I know you are partying. Take it easy. Tony Montana, a.k.a. Beach Boy. DC, last time I watched this, Uncle, I lost $30,000. Isn't that too bad? The shovel sound getting beat up. Savage of Wall Street, I'm going to sell a lot of cash secured puts tomorrow. Savage of Wall Street just sold 20 RXRX $4 cash secured puts expiring July 50 for 50 cents. And earlier I sold 10 $4 contracts for 45 cents. Let's go. Jeffrey, TZUP. Okay, Mr. Premium, the option. I'll be buying back my covered calls for pennies tomorrow. Savage of Wall Street. Oh, yeah, those 8 covered calls I sold, they were $25 strikes. I got 4. Brian, pennies or 1 penny? Mr. Premium, 1 penny, but on multiple tickers. Fair fan of planes. Hello, Uncle Bruce from Chicago. Welcome from Chicago. Swear DCB, wrote your calls. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the party. What can I say? If you've written credit spreads this morning, call credit spreads. I know people were doing the Qs this morning somewhere around 524, 534, 524.29, 524.26, 525s they were writing, 523s were being written. And here we are at 513 on the Qs. All those calls are worthless. They've been wiped out. They're down to a penny now. Congratulations. Close them out. Say, thank you, sir. I'll take the money. It's nothing personal, people. It's just the world opinion here about just how badly the Americans are running their affairs. Trump is probably, out and out blowing it, and it is not going over very well at all with the international money club, the international community of investors. They're just not impressed. And right now, as we speak, they are trying to ram down the throat of the Congress the big, fat, beautiful tax bill they want to pass, and it is a guaranteed $5 trillion headache for the bond market. The Treasury and the Federal Reserve and everybody else is just shaking their head, going, sooner or later the spigot shuts off. And maybe today was a little taste of what might be coming. That could be a hell of a lot worse than what we have here, because today was a nothing burger compared to how bad it can get. Will the Fed bail out the market? Well, that means they have to print money. They'll have to, quote, print dollars to buy up loose bonds that are not selling too well, which means, of course, you dilute the very dollars that all of you live on, which means the plummet of currency will continue internationally. And if that is going on, bond yields will continue to rise as bond prices continue to fall. There will be more sellers of bonds than the U.S. government can possibly buy. You cannot buy $40 trillion of bonds by printing currency. You're going to put the U.S. dollar down by 75% on its current value, and you want to import stuff from China, it's going to be triple the price because of currency. Forget about tariffs, currencies. This Trump administration has blown it so badly by completely misreading how the U.S. economy works and how it has been able to benefit from a strong dollar with U.S. exceptionalism as the background, to import goods for cheap when it's impossible to manufacture them domestically anywhere near the world price. But hey, politics and vengeance rules. The hatred of political enemies is alive and well in the White House, and they are ignoring court orders. They are just out and out going nuts over there. And the rest of the planet is saying, one area where we can make a comment about what we think you're not doing very well is the bond market. And they are telling the American bond market and stock market what they think. Down go the stocks. We're down 1.77 on the Dow, 1.4 on S&P, 1.2 on NASDAQ. The triple Qs are 514.21. So if any of you out there are ahead of 514, if you're in the money, if you're out of the money and you can get an exit, you're down to 14 minutes to take one. Otherwise, you're going to have to roll forward. Hopefully, some of you can get out alive. It is what it is, folks. This is what this business is like sometimes. The outside world is not impressed. What's going on? Brian, I wrote a GameStop June 20, $30 strike for $2.30 when the stock was around $29. So I'm a happy guy. I wrote a covered call on that. Dennis, for what's sake, whatever, gosh darn heck. It is what it is, kids. There was a dressing down of the South African president on live television today. Another Zelensky moment in the White House on television for all South Africans to witness for themselves, along with anyone else who is bored to watch Trump to talk to a president of a country. The fake news going around and the attacks are just disturbing as hell. Is it any wonder there aren't 150 new trade deals? Where are all the deals? There was supposed to be a lineup at the door of the White House for every country wanting to make a trade deal with the Trump administration. No one is making a deal with the Trump administration. Countries around the world have just put on reciprocal tariffs to say, oh, you're going to nail us 30%, we'll nail you 30%. You nail us 48%, we'll nail you 48%. And so U.S. trade grinds to a halt. American layoffs are around the corner. And we've got Target today saying, we can't give you guidance. We have no idea. Lowe's, they are claiming all is well, but they admit that items at $500 and over, not selling right now. Americans are not buying anything over $500 right now. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? That means refrigerators, stoves, dishwashers, washers, dryers, they're all over $500 pretty well, especially the nicer ones. They're into the thousands. They're not selling. What's going on here? What is not going on here? Jeff, gosh darn the heck is right. Yes, well, gee whiz williker. Option writers, you can make a killing. You can make an absolute fortune. You're being given the opportunity to write call, credit spreads, and covered calls, buyback calls for cheap, and write new calls. Take money from gamblers because the desperados today got whacked. A ton of long players got their butts handed to them today. And what were we talking about first thing this morning? 6-day winning streak. We just had a 6-day winning streak. The market was getting right back to the bull market. Didn't we talk about that on Monday? But on Monday, I said to you guys, there are articles on the weekend talking about the fact we're about to enter the bull market again. I have news for you. We're not anywhere near the bull market. We're back into correction territory and falling through that. It's not good. No, it's not good. We could have ourselves a 2,000-point drop tomorrow. We could really drop tomorrow. We're only down 764. Most of the market doesn't realize what's going on. In Asia, they're sleeping right Europe, it's late. There's the overnights out of Europe, out of Asia, are going to be ugly. I think really ugly, and we'll see how this carries on into Europe and then back to the U.S. tomorrow. Bond analysts are going to be studying today's action and auction, the auction action, and they're not going to be pleased with what they see. Fundamentals are looking pretty grim right now. The so-called amount of bidding that was done by bond buyers was very weak, terribly weak, and this is not a good thing. This is a what I call a bad thing. Yeah, there's the good thing, and then there's the bad thing. And if the bond market can't sustain the bond action from the Fed, that catapults into everything else. You're going to find that you personally are not going to be able to get a car loan unless you have stellar credit. Some of you may find that friends, relatives, coworkers, anyone you know, trying to buy a car, a truck, SUV, new or used, can't get a loan without 50% down. You're going to hear horror stories. If the credit market tightens up, you're going to need 50% down to get a house. You're going to need credit limits on credit cards are going to be restricted. That's the next stage. You've never witnessed this before. You've never seen this. It's when your $20,000 credit limit is now $8,000 and you owe them 12 and they want 4 now. Wait for that. It's around the corner if we have a credit squeeze. This thing is insidious. It is the worst. It sucks money out of everything. People will be selling autos to pay off credit card balances, to save their houses. They will sell other assets to preserve their home. You haven't seen nothing yet. It's going to be one ugly darn thing. Blair, tomorrow's Bitcoin Pizza Day, the day where whatever was paying 10,000 Bitcoin for $41. I don't know what's going on. Brian, it's cold and rainy in Calgary. Don't come back until at least next week. It's going to go above 20 degrees again next week. Eric, here's a $20 donation. Should I buy puts on SoFi 2 weeks out at $13? You want to buy puts? No, you want to write cash secured puts. You want to write them. Don't be buying puts. Savage Wall Street, I rolled all my SMCI, ASTS, Rivian, Riot, and Roblex to March 26 today. Took dollars in premiums. Dollars. You have to have conviction, my friends. Now I'm as happy as a bee swimming in honey. Giddy up. This is the chance. You've got 8 minutes to close out option positions that you wrote at cheap prices now. You close out calls and write new calls further out, lower strikes, because we're going even lower. We're going even lower. And this is only the beginning of a sell-off. When the bond market revolts, you can forget about poll questions. You can forget about opinion polls and politics. You can forget about statistics coming out that are a month behind the actual fact. We got us a problem here. The American economy is in real big trouble and has got a reset going on. And unfortunately, 90% demographic down to 0 demographic, except for the top 10 percenters, everyone else is going to feel a lot poorer in the next 90 days. It's going to be ugly. And that's what I think, in my opinion, is going on. And the Trump thing, the tariff thing, can't be undone and made to go away. The tax bill, they're going to try and ram that thing through, and it's going to stink to high heaven in bond auctions every week going forward. And corporate America will under-deliver on every quarterly report that you see coming up now for second quarter reports. They're going to revise lower their estimates. They're not going to give guidance anymore. They're just going to say, we can't meet the quarter we said we were going to meet. We have withdrawn guidance. And this is not good for the stock market and for confidence in the economy in America. Not good at all. Just a guy in front of a computer telling you what's going on with 6 minutes to go. The market it's miraculous that we're not down 1,000 points right now. It's absolutely miraculous. I think it's a state of denial. There are people out there who are just convinced the market is going to get better. I'm worried that overnight tonight, there are going to be all kinds of hedge funds and analysts and pension funds and mutual funds around the planet, not America, but everywhere else, and probably America too, I guess, who are going to say we should lighten our securities. We should lighten our equity positions. And then here come the margin calls behind it. That's the other thing about credit tightening is when your broker says, you can't buy $1,000 worth of stock with $300. You can only buy $1,000 worth of stock with $500. And when they come out and say something like, unless your account is $50,000 in value, we can't even give you a 50% margin. We can only give you a 33% margin. So you now need 2/3 of your money, your market in cash to handle a $30,000 account. You have to have 20,000 in cash rather than 9. Because right now you need 30% of capital to carry stock. So $3,000 lets you buy 10. How about 6,600 lets you buy 10? There's a market killer. That's a big time market killer. Just saying. Just a guy in front of a computer warning you, if the credit market falters, this market takes a historic drop. Like one you've not seen before. I've seen them. You haven't. I'm just a guy in front of a computer. Option writers, keep up the good work. Take the money off the table. Be willing to buy NVIDIA at $100 a share. Write $100 cash secured puts. Don't hold the stock. Don't hold Apple stock. Be willing to buy Apple stock at $20 less a share for the next 6 months and take the money. Take the money to buy the stock at a much lower price. You might get lucky and get it way down there. You've got the cash in your account to do it. Earn interest in the meantime. That's going to be paying you more. That's what's coming. Just saying. I'm just a guy in front of a computer trying to tell you what to look out for. That's it. Nothing personal. Thank you all for joining in so far. The question, I put a poll question up. I don't know if you want to answer. 85 people have so far. I think Trump is blowing it. It's a simple, direct question. You think he's blowing it? 59% say, yeah, he's blowing it. 41% say, oh no, he's a god. He's just the best there is. Knock yourself out, kid. I'm going to like that. Thank you, Eric. I'm liking that donation you made. I'm going to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Yes, kids, it's another fun day in paradise. And we've got the apple was really shiny a while ago. Not so shiny now. There's a rotting from the inside out, and it's starting to show the odd blemish here and there. And it started today with a bond market auction that really didn't do too well. That's not good. That's really a bad thing. What can I say? Looking at some quotes right now, we've got Rocket Lab down 84, SoFi down 47, GameStop down 44. We have Apple down 450. Tesla down 917, Microsoft down 480, Alphabet down is up $5. The only stock that's green out there is Alphabet, really. Amazon down 266, Nvidia down 240, Meta down 143, Supermicro down $1.09, ASTS down 120, AI down 126, Palantir down 491, MicroStrategy down $14, Unity down 130, Goldman Sachs down 1291, Cisco down 17, Spiders are off 918, Qs are down 650, Pfizer down 45 cents. We've got ARC Innovations down 173, IBM down 560, Uber down 330, HBQ down 31, Home Depot down 640, Vanik down 380. We got Adobe down 319, Enphase down 172 today. The only other stock that's got a gain is a $295 gain on Netflix, $1,195 a share, and it's up $290, a tentative quarter point a gain over there. And then we have the only other stock that's up on my list here, Google, up $492. That's all. And now the question is, what happens tomorrow? Yeah, we could see an ugly day tomorrow. We could. We'll have to see what the overnight take is on this bond market reaction, and bond specialists all over the place. They'll be weighing in here on this thing. The tax bill is in front of the Congress. Four congressmen, 3 are saving America right now. They're trying to save America by not going along with it. How long can they hold out before they're threatened with losing their seats by the President of the United States? They've been summoned to the White House to have a chat, apparently. Just saying. I don't know. I'm just a guy, wondering. Juan says, YouTube didn't tell me the show was on. Oh, man. Savage Wall Street, my 1,500 shares of SOXS are going to print. Got my average down to 1290. Come on, baby. Splair, minute to go. Netflix chart reminds me about Canopy, most like they would like to climb. Anyway, there you have it. We got a minute to go until we should close the market off for the day. We got about an 800-point drop or so on the Dow. That's the story, I think. And let's see what's going on. Target's weak results were the quarter's least well-kept secret, they say on a headline here. Oh my gosh. Trump's IRS pick may have a Doge problem on his hands. Oops, more issues. Oil down 50 cents. The VIX up 219 today. Not good. NASDAQ down 1.4%, 268-point drop. S&P down 95, 1.6%. Dow down 814 on the bell here. Down 1.9% lower on the markets. Those of you who've written call credit spreads today on anything are winning, in my opinion. Whether they expire today, tomorrow, Friday, next month, any call credit spread writers out there, you are winning. And you're going to keep winning because that's the trade you want to go into if you're going to do spreads. Call credit spreads. You dare the market to come up way up here to get you, and it's not coming. The market left town today. I don't think so. Anyway, it is what it is. And we're following some pretty ugly stuff going on. Not looking very promising. 513.18 on the triple Qs, down 709 it looks like here. And SoFi 1280 down 47 cents for the final shot of the day there is what seems to be happening. Thanks for those of you joining me here on this quick little, show right at the end of the day. Appreciate the thumbs ups that you told us today. Thank you for the thumbs ups this morning, everybody. We have 93 now. 93 people have answered the question here, the poll question. I think Trump is blowing it. 61% say yeah, 39% say no. And that's where we're at right now. Charlie has a comment going here. Charlie says, I sold my triple Q puts from this morning for 126. I closed with a minute to go at 426. I lost $300, but I also made $80 on the call I wrote. So I lost $220 on the day today. Tomorrow, you're going to write call credit spreads. That's how you're going to go on that, in my humble opinion. Savage, down only 800 points. Laugh a lot. Well, tomorrow we're down 1,500. It's going to be red tomorrow. There's no doubt in my mind. Unless something really good is going on, but I don't see anything good going on. This tax bill, it's not going to make the market go up. This tax bill, this big, beautiful tax bill, this is not a market booster, in my opinion. 30-year bond yield has an interesting chart, says Splair. And Brian, 40% say no. That's mind-blowing. Yeah, he's not blowing it. Yeah, well, welcome to a divided world in which we live. What one sees as reality, someone else sees as fantasy. I don't know. It is a wild world. The markets, though, they don't lie. The markets don't lie. People are taking money off the table and running. And today was a drop of 800 points. So there it is. That's what I can say about that. Taking a look at the triple Qs for the last 5 days. We had the highest triple Q rate number today at 523 all week for the last week. The Qs were at 523. That's the best they've had in the last week. And now we're at the lowest in the last week. If I go for a month, we're at 513. We were last, a couple of weeks ago at 487. We were at 483, 481 on the 6th of May. 2nd of May, 488. April 30, we're at 475. We could be heading back to that level without any fanfare. 472 on the 25th of April. 24th of April, 467. And on the 23rd of April, 454. Could be heading down 60 points from here on the triple Qs. That is possible. Again, depending on how the market feels about this disastrous bond auction that happened today. Just saying. I'm just saying. Savage Wall Street. I'm moving to Japan. There you go. Lisa, I sold an Archer 18th of July $10 cash secured put, 96-cent premium. That's nearly a 10% return on this thing. That's awesome. Way to go. Very, very good there, Lisa. Making dough. What can I say? It is what it is. The markets are not in a good mood. That is a for sure a statement there. Not in a happy place at the moment, as I see it here. Checking out, nothing seriously happening in the aftermarket from what I can tell you at this point. Rocket Lab up 8 cents. It was down 83 today. ASTS is up a nickel in the after hours, but we just barely started here, so don't expect all that much going on. MSTR is at 401.91, down 78 cents after losing 14.23 today. So MSTR did not do well today. NVIDIA down 258 on the session. After hours down 20 cents. Tesla lost 9.20 today. It's down another 117 now in the after hours. So it's losing a little more ground. Palantir lost 501 on the day. It's up 24 cents tonight in the after hours. Google was up 470 today, but it's down 15 cents right now. Microsoft lost 550 today. It's down another 39 cents. And over on Apple, we were down 477 today. We're down 11 cents in the after hours right now. Just a little brief rundown as to what's going on in the market. Thank you all. Thank you for joining me. And there it is. That's all I wanted to do today was run the close by you and let you in on what I see happening on the close and what caught the market off guard. The bond market. This is bad news. This is really bad news. You can't ignore bond market sales. When the international community doesn't want to buy U.S. bonds, which is the safest bond in the world, you got a problem. And if the Americans are trying to raise $5 trillion more for their deficits, and nobody wants to buy the bond, the only way that will happen is America is going to have to allow its currency to drop 10 or 20% more in value, which puts Americans down in the standard of living column into the lower end of the G20. Not good. You want to pay 30% more on a holiday to Europe this summer? More next summer? Not good. Everything will have to go up in price to compensate the differential. Tariffs are not. And tariffs are just putting gasoline on the fire, just blowing it up. Blowing it up. Not good at all. Okay. There's the story. I'm sticking to all that. Thank you for the 101 thumbs ups, 60-40, whether Trump is blowing it or not. And thank you for the thumbs ups this afternoon. I'll see you here tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern for Gold Bagel members. We'll talk about today and what happened. We'll go over trades that you did, and we'll talk about trades you could do tomorrow to make more money and not get caught in a selling vortex. Congratulations, option writers. Many of you are doing very well right now. Keep up the good work. Thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern for Primetime Live for Gold Bagel members only. Thanks again for your support. I'll see you shortly. Beach Boy, you got it, buddy. Neat. There you go. Thank you all. We'll talk to you later.